Moses Itauma has sustained an injury in camp for his fight with Jermaine Franklin, which was scheduled for the 24th of January.
But you can't be composed when a man's talking to you like that. Like, you know, I mean, me and you, who couldn't fight our way out of a wet paper bag, shouldn't allow another man to talk to us like that.
It's ridiculous, and you see these scuffles and all this nonsense at press conferences, and that is where it goes wrong.
Jermaine Franklin has completely lost it after Moses Itauma pulled out of their fight. The shocking moment unfolded at the airport where Franklin aggressively confronted Moses, clearly furious about the cancellation. Fans watching were stunned as tensions boiled over, showing just how personal this dispute has become between the two heavyweights. Frank Warren makes it clear that pre-fight antics from Jermaine Franklin are unnecessary and unprofessional. Moses Itauma has handled the situation with maturity, and Franklin's aggression only highlights his lack of composure. This reinforces that Moses is the disciplined fighter, while Franklin is letting frustration take over, undermining his own credibility.
Well, this is not a gang fight. You know, the only two who'll be fighting are the boxers, and save it for the night. They don't get paid. They don't get paid to fight before the fight. Stupid.
Eddie Hearn explains perfectly why emotions boiled over, and in Moses Itauma's case, it shows Franklin's reckless behavior. Moses has stayed professional despite the provocation, and Franklin's overreaction exposes his lack of control. This is exactly why Moses is the smarter, more composed fighter in this scenario.
When someone pushes your buttons, when someone shoves you like that, when someone starts talking about your mum, no man, like, look, I'm a complete pussy, right? If you start talking about my mum and all this other stuff, I'm going to have a pop at you. I can't fight, but I don't care. I'll have a right go. And you're talking about the world heavyweight champion. If you start talking to him like that, if you shove him like that, he's going to react.
Johnny Nelson hits the nail on the head, highlighting how unprofessional and risky Franklin's actions were. Pulling out on fight day and turning aggressive at the airport shows a lack of discipline and respect. Moses Itauma, on the other hand, handled the situation calmly, proving his maturity and focus, which makes him stand out as a true professional in the heavyweight division.
To make the way how he's done it, you know, on the morning of a fight, it's just wrong. It's dangerous, and the board are now in a situation where they think shit.
The fight being officially canceled is a huge moment in the heavyweight scene. Moses Itauma's sparring injury shows the risks fighters take to prepare, and it doesn't make him any less dangerous. Franklin's reaction to this cancellation only makes him look reckless. Moses will now recover, come back stronger, and face bigger challenges, leaving Franklin exposed as someone who struggles with adversity.
Disappointing, because obviously we want to see Moses move on. Time waits for no man. He's young, but there's a world in front of him. And I think that most people felt, despite the durability of Jermaine Franklin,
Frank Warren captures the chaos perfectly. Canceled fights cause stress for everyone, yet Moses Itauma's professionalism shines through. He prioritized his health over rushing in and risking permanent damage. Franklin's behavior could never match this level of discipline, exposing his temperament and lack of respect for the sport. Moses is the true heavyweight to watch.
Direct and then make a decision if he's out.
Okay, when did you first learn about this, Frank?
Very late this afternoon.
Okay, so it's been a stressful day.
To say the least. For the fighters as well. It's a shame for the fighters, for everybody involved. TV companies, and more importantly for the fans. Riyadh season, you know, His Excellency, everybody involved with this. We're all gutted, but what can you do? That's the world we...
Liam Goff points out the uncertainty, but one thing is clear. Moses Itauma's injury is real and serious. It's the kind of setback that tests a fighter's mental strength. Moses will recover and come back smarter, while Franklin's temper tantrum over the cancellation just highlights his lack of resilience and maturity compared to Moses's measured response.
And was suffered some sort of ankle injury. Maybe I was just, seeing things with that one. But he is injured. It's not really specified. I don't know why. I'm sure I saw it was ankle, but maybe not. Maybe I was just seeing things.
Eddie Hearn sums it up perfectly, highlighting just how tough Moses Itauma's situation is. Injuries are part of the fight game, but handling them with patience and discipline separates true champions from reckless contenders. Moses' focus on recovery and strategy shows he's already thinking 2 steps ahead, while Jermaine Franklin's impulsive actions at the airport demonstrate he lacks the mental toughness needed to compete at the highest level. This situation only increases anticipation for Moses' next fight, proving that the real heavyweight talent is the one who adapts and overcomes adversity instead of causing unnecessary drama.
Dubois, we'll see what happens, but that's for them to overcome now, and it's a very difficult situation.
Dave Coldwell is right to emphasize the seriousness of Franklin's attack. What he did crosses a line that goes beyond standard press conference antics. Moses Itauma's calm response in the face of aggression highlights his professionalism and mental strength. Franklin's impulsive behavior exposes him as someone who lets emotions dictate his actions, rather than focusing on preparation and skill. This incident has raised the stakes for Moses' eventual return, because fans now recognize his composure and resilience as part of his championship potential. The contrast between the two men could not be clearer, with Moses standing as the future star.
Everything that, because that's a little bit naughty, because I know it's all, fun and games at press conferences, but when you lay your hands on another man's face, whether there's an egg in it or not, you've laid your hands on his face, and that takes it to another level.
Simon Jordan puts Franklin's actions into perspective, showing how rare and unnecessary such aggression is. Moses Itauma's ability to stay composed while under public scrutiny proves he has a level of professionalism Franklin can only dream of. Fans now see Moses as a heavyweight who commands respect inside and outside the ring, while Franklin is remembered for childish antics rather than skill. The incident has turned Moses into a symbol of discipline and mental toughness, and it positions him perfectly for a big comeback, showing that calm intelligence beats raw emotion every time in boxing.
And he smashed an egg in his face. I mean, how many times have we seen boxers do things that they shouldn't do? We saw Derek Chisora spit on Vitaly Klitschko.
We didn't need that.
I'm not offended by it.
Adam Smith nails the reality of the fight business. Incidents like Franklin's attack add drama, but also reveal true character. Moses Itauma has maintained his composure, turning what could have been a disaster into an opportunity to show his professionalism and mental strength. Franklin's impulsive and reckless behavior has only amplified the anticipation for Moses' return, proving that discipline and patience win respect while tantrums diminish credibility. The heavyweight division is watching closely, and Moses' ability to rise above chaos demonstrates that he is not just talented, but also strategically smart, making his eventual comeback all the more exciting.
Big for the casual fans. Do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not, but these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens next.
Jack Catterall highlights the importance of safety and preparation, reinforcing why Moses Itauma's decision to pull out due to injury was the right one. Weight management and health are critical in boxing, and Moses prioritizing his long-term career shows maturity and foresight. Franklin's reckless attitude contrasts sharply, making him appear unprofessional and reactive. Fans now recognize Moses as someone who respects the sport and understands that timing and preparation are everything. This approach ensures he will return stronger, while Franklin's impatience and aggression only undermine his reputation. Moses' strategy proves that smart decisions outside the ring are just as important as skill inside it.
You know what? Everybody's weight situation and weight making situation is unique to them. There's weight classes for a reason. I know some people are going to two extreme lengths. I don't know. I can't comment on it. I wish him to be safe and well, like I wish every.
Spencer Oliver perfectly explains the reality of professional boxing, where injuries are part of the business. Moses Itauma, putting health first and allowing doctors to assess his readiness, shows a level of professionalism that Jermaine Franklin cannot match. Moses understands that rushing back injured could derail a career, and that discipline and patience are what separate true champions from reckless contenders. Franklin's impulsive actions at the airport and public outbursts reveal a fighter driven by ego rather than strategy, showing he lacks the mental maturity needed at the highest level. Fans now see Moses as the calm, intelligent heavyweight who prepares meticulously and protects his future, making him a far more dangerous and respected figure in the division. The medical evaluation also ensures that when Moses finally returns to the ring, he will be at 100%, ready to dominate, proving that smart fighters win both inside and outside the ropes.
Okay, but he will have seen the doctor, and the doctor will make that decision on whether he should fight or whether he shouldn't fight. I mean, listen, this is the hurt business. You can only go in there 100%.
Frank Warren emphasizes the enormous logistical and financial challenges a canceled fight creates. But Moses Itauma made the right decision, prioritizing his body and career. Every fighter understands the financial strain, but Moses shows intelligence and foresight by valuing long-term health over short-term gain. In contrast, Jermaine Franklin's public tantrums make him appear reckless and unprofessional, someone who prioritizes ego over planning. Moses' disciplined approach highlights why he is the future of the heavyweight division. Fans now recognize that true champions are those who manage all aspects of the fight, from preparation to recovery. Moses is demonstrating patience, professionalism, and the mental strength to navigate setbacks without drama. Franklin's impulsive behavior only makes him seem small in comparison and proves that Moses not only excels in skill, but in judgment, positioning him perfectly for a dominant return that the division will remember for years.
It was a big fight. He's trained very hard. If you don't fight, you don't get paid. You imagine the cost involved in a training camp, booking places to set the camp up, bringing the sparring partners in, the nutritionists, the chefs, trainers and everybody, and you don't get paid. It's a massive loss. You can't insure it, or if you do, it costs a fortune to insure. But very, very disappointed. It was.
Andy Lee underscores the harsh reality of boxing, where injuries are inevitable, but how a fighter responds sets them apart. Moses Itauma's careful handling of his injury shows intelligence and strategic thinking, allowing him to recover fully before stepping back into the ring. Jermaine Franklin, however, has shown through his aggressive airport outburst and public comments that he is ruled by emotion, not strategy. Moses' approach reinforces his image as a disciplined professional who plans for the long term, understanding that smart management of injuries makes him a more dangerous opponent. Fans now can see the stark contrast between Moses' measured, thoughtful approach and Franklin's reckless impulsiveness. Moses is building momentum even while sidelined, ensuring that his eventual return will be with maximum force and focus, leaving no doubt that he is the heavyweight to watch in every aspect of preparation, skill, and mental resilience.
You're likely to pick up injuries, and I wouldn't be surprised if both of these guys are going in there with some sort of injury.
Adam Smith highlights how expectations were stacked against Moses Itauma, yet his professionalism and mental strength shine even in adversity. Being favored to win adds pressure, but Moses handles setbacks with intelligence, using his injury and recovery time to strategize for a future return. Jermaine Franklin, on the other hand, has relied on theatrics and anger to maintain attention, showing he is unprepared for real adversity and lacks the composure necessary to thrive at the highest level. Moses' calm and focused approach proves that true champions manage both expectation and challenge with clarity, building respect among fans and the division alike. His ability to rise above the drama while others flounder positions him as a heavyweight who is not only physically talented but also mentally unshakable, ensuring that when he steps back in the ring, he will dominate both psychologically and physically.